players? My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I know tech so you don't have to. And today we're talking about the iPad Pro 11-inch. This is the 2020 version, baby. This is the version that you need to get, and I'll tell you why in this video. As a longtime Apple ecosystem user, I've been in the Apple ecosystem by choice, not by force. I promise you, I'm in the walled garden. There's not even a wall on this garden, but it's hard to leave. But I've been doing it for years. Now, I've been doing professional Apple ecosystem work and development, like audio engineering and video production, photo editing, and things like that, well before I even picked up my first iPhone. So yes, I do own iPhone 11 Pro, and now I have an iPad Pro to go along with that. But before I even got this thing, this being my very first iPad, I've had iMacs, iMac Pros, MacBooks, MacBook Pros, MacBook Airs, Apple TVs, Apple Watches, not on my wrist now, but it's over there. The list goes on of Apple products that I've used over the years, yet I never saw myself owning a tablet. I always thought that iPads were like, you know, when I wasn't using my phone, I preferred to just sit at my computer and use Mac OS, and I never really saw the in-between need for a tablet until now. After grabbing this iPad Pro and using it, oh, let me give you a quick little story. I used to have the MacBook Air, the golden one. No. You know what I mean? When they first dropped that, like 2018, I just had to have it. It was in that golden color. Absolute failure, absolute trash. Hated that thing. No. Now, yes, they've given you the new one with the option to upgrade to the quad-core 4, which would probably be a better performing thing, but that base core processor they put in there, you got a mobile processor on an actual computer. It makes no sense to me, and it was a big disappointment, big failure. I'll try not to rant too long on that, and that's over. Trash. I don't recommend MacBook Airs, but I can recommend you an iPad Pro 2020, and I'll tell you why in this video. Some of the things I've discovered in using this over this week and some change, and it's been absolutely lovely, phenomenal. And I no longer have my MacBook Air that I used to use to go to work and use on my lunch breaks and on the go. Now I use the iPad Pro as that replacement. I can say that this is a good filler. So if you're in the Apple ecosystem and you've ever wondered, should you get an iPad to add to your ecosystem, I'm gonna give you some things to think about and some things to consider that might make you actually jump and grab one. Let's talk about some of the selling points of the iPad Pro 2020. Now, this one over the 2018, I highly recommend. I know a lot of people are gonna tell you, oh, get the 2018, save some money, blah, blah, blah. Why would you go 2 years behind and have a loss of 2 years of support for the future? If you grab this one, which is the latest release, you have support guaranteed 2 years more than what you're gonna get on the 2018. So I would highly recommend you in this age of technology growth that's so rapid to grab the latest and greatest if you don't have either. Now, as far as trying to upgrade from 2018 to 2020, that's a different story. I won't touch on that one too much because I've never owned the 2018 iPad Pro, but I can talk about this 2020 iPad Pro and why it is absolutely phenomenal. Now, they did add a couple cool things like an extra camera over the 2018 with the LiDAR sensor, which is gonna be AR, but I'm not in big use of those things. The biggest thing I'm in use of is the actual iPad, you know what I mean? This display, this processor, this Apple Pencil, and then I have the Smart Folio case as well, full-on iPad ecosystem. Now, I figured if I'm gonna get an iPad Pro and I'm gonna set it up, I'm gonna set up everything and go all out. Now, what's really dope that has not released is that Magic Keyboard, and that's gonna be phenomenal because it's gonna give you the Smart Folio keys with a trackpad on it, because now we have full-on mouse support, which is super dope. You can take any Bluetooth mouse. You can take any Bluetooth mouse. I don't know why I keep messing that one up. Any Bluetooth mouse and pair it with your iPad Pro and have full-on mouse support, which is super dope, it's super good. And it's that much closer to being a laptop replacement. We almost there, but I'm gonna tell you some of the hurdles and why this iPad Pro 2020 can't really ever fully be a laptop replacement, but it actually is. I know, confusing, right? I'll break it down. So some of the things that I've been using this thing for and coming to know on the iPad Pro is, all right, number one, come on, we have the bigger display. So this is doing everything that I can do on my iPhone 11 Pro, but bigger. And this is the LTE version. Let me just throw that out there. So I am having a SIM card inside of here, so I have data everywhere. So I'm always on, baby. So I'm able to have this bigger display. So accessing web pages and things like that are very important to me, which are like the YouTube Creator Studio, where I go in to manage my videos, my analytics, and everything from my channel page, replying to comments and things like that. I can do it on the full web page view, which is super fire, and not just the app view, which I can have the app on here and I do, but I prefer to get on the website because I get more detailed information and breaking down analytics to video performance and, you know, planning my next strategy and my next move going forward. So that's super important to me, and I absolutely love the fact that I can do that on an 11-inch display and have the feel of a computer because I have my mouse and my smart folio case there present. It's gonna feel no different than using a laptop. Another dope thing that I'm getting into in using this iPad Pro is Goodnotes. I'm taking notes on this bad boy. So I'm working on like my portfolio for my rebrand. So I'm rebranding the channel. As you guys can see, things have changed. Now this is one of many sets that you guys are gonna see and hook up. So I'm telling you, it's a lot coming. Smash that sub button, hit that like button right now, baby, and show support for your boy because I'm coming hard. So I'm working on my rebrand for my channel, and Goodnotes is super fire. Look at these notes and look how I'm able to lay out this presentation and these slides for myself to use. So I'm using the Apple Pen a lot, not just to take notes, but to sketch. This was a big selling point for me. Now there's an app called Procreate, and I did a sketch on here, and you may not be able to see it, it's probably blown out, but I'm definitely running B-roll for you to see this sketch. Let's just put it this way, drawing on an iPad Pro is far more intuitive than drawing in real life. Basically, what it does is it makes someone who's all right at drawing look all right, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of good, fun techniques. You can watch a lot of dope tutorials on YouTube for sketching and drawing, and you can take advantage of that Procreate app, which this is not sponsored by them, it's just a fire app. Other ways that this iPad Pro is absolutely useful is doing professional creative things like editing photos. I could whip up Lightroom and I can edit this photo right here, which I already did, and you guys are gonna see in the B-roll on a bigger display, bigger controls. I'm able to whip out the pencil, you know what I mean? Get defined definition, and editing on an iPad screen in comparison to the iPhone 11 Pro screen is definitely a big improvement. Now, not only can you just only edit photos, but you can do video editing on this thing. A lot of people, a lot of creators I've seen using LumaFusion. Now, I haven't gotten LumaFusion yet. If you guys wanna see that, hit the comment section below, because for a lot of you out there, you guys don't wanna get a laptop or a computer. You guys wanna create on your smartphones and grab a tablet like this and just chop up that footage, or even if you're shooting with a camera, you can load that footage into here because you got USB-C. Matter of fact, I have a hub. It's a way in the bag, a way to be prepared, huh, CJ? But I'll show you some B-roll of that hub, and it gives me SD support, USB-C, HDMI out. It basically turns this bad boy into a laptop. Take advantage of that USB-C port down below and expand your creativity. Now, not only can you do video, not only can you do photo, you can also do audio, baby. All of the O's, all of the professional O's that I use Apple ecosystem for can be done here on this iPad Pro in blazing fast and super efficient. Oh. I don't really play piano. I used to know little keys, couple chord progressions, you know what I mean? I used to fake the funk when I was into those production sound engineering days, but now, you know, I'm just washed up on that. I gave up. If y'all don't know who C-Kid Tech is, he raps his tech reviews, super unique, right? Check out his channel. I write all of his raps, and then I sound engineer. And I basically produce C-Kid, and I made C-Kid who he is, and I'm the man behind, you know what I mean? I'm the ghostwriter. I'm the fire. Go check out C-Kid Tech's channel, man. Super fire, super dope. I'll link it maybe at the end on the end screen. So stay here for this video and finish, and then after you go check out C-Kid Tech, because what he does is super unique in the tech space. So all in all, what do we have? Audio editing, photo editing, video editing. Those are all of the creative editing things, but it does not stop there, baby. Another really dope thing about this, and I have to show you guys this because this is so fire. Where's my voice recorder? The microphones that are improved on here are extremely good. I'm like come on, man, I'm a sound snob. I told you guys I used to do the audio engineering. I used to be on the, you know, the mixing board. When you see people in the studio and there's that nerd behind the computer with the board, that was me, making everybody sound all good and technical and stuff. So I'm about to hop into the voice recorder so you guys can hear it.
Right now, you guys are hearing the super duper fire. Where's the microphone?
Just for comparison's sake, I am using the Sennheiser AVX. It's about a $700 wireless lav system, and this thing is great. It's phenomenal. It compresses and maximizes, it balances. It does all of the sauce that you need done on your vocals, all into the systems. All I have to do is drop my video into Final Cut Pro, and I'm ready to go, baby. I just gotta do all that chopping and putting B-roll and all that, editing for hours and all that. So smash the like button for that, because the player then put a lot of work and tears into this video. Now remember, earlier I told you guys about the keyboard support. This is the Smart Folio keyboard. I highly recommend you grab one of these, but what's even more exciting than this keyboard, which is pretty good. Let me tell you about this keyboard, then we'll talk about that fire one that's coming next, which is the Magic Keyboard that I mentioned earlier. It's a pretty decent keyboard. I like the build of it because I feel like if I spelt something on it, it probably wouldn't ruin it, because it's like a full fabric coating. There's no, like, the keys aren't exposed like at the edges. You know how like on a typical keyboard there's exposure. It doesn't seem to have that on this. This seems built for you to go on the go and have longevity. The key travel is fair. You can tell you're typing on a very shallow keyboard, but this keyboard experience is absolutely worth it, especially once you pair it with a Logitech MX Master, which is my favorite mouse to use because it's ergonomic and all that stuff. So once we get that Magic Keyboard, which I can't wait for, which has the floating head part thing on it, but it has the built-in trackpad. Now, I don't have Apple's latest trackpad. I have the first generation one, but I'm not even gonna try to whip up that thing, load in 2 AA batteries. Come on now. But I will be picking up one of the newer ones because I want that for when I'm editing in Final Cut Pro. So needless to even say, or me having to mention, all of the other productivity things, if you're a productivity hog, are answered in this iPad. Calendar view is bigger and better. If you're doing presentations, Excels, PowerPoints, Word documents, all of that can be done and achieved right here on the iPad Pro without hesitation. So basically, here is the line in the sand when it comes to an iPad Pro being an actual full-on laptop or a laptop replacement. Now, it can replace a laptop. Let's not get that twisted, but only to a certain extent. This is iPad OS, and a laptop from Apple has Mac OS. Now, the biggest difference is you don't get the access to the same apps between Mac OS and iPad OS. Now, some have been conformed to the iPad OS platform, but there's a lot of apps that are on Mac OS or for Mac OS that you can't get on iPad OS, and that's where the line is drawn. Also, this thing is super powerful. This thing is a super beast, and Apple has yet to fully unlock it, but that will require them creating a Mac OS version to run on iPad, which is technically kind of iPad OS. It's just a complicated discussion, a complicated truth. That's why I don't think we will ever see a full-on laptop replacement in the iPad unless Apple compromises Mac OS to the point where it can run on an iPad. I don't know, man. That's just a tough thing to ask for or to ask Apple to do, because once this iPad can run Mac OS, here's my conclusion, here's my truth as a longtime Apple user who has picked up his first iPad, which happens to be the iPad Pro 2020. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. This thing is absolutely a fit into my Apple ecosystem, and it does absolutely make sense. At first I thought it didn't. I thought I had no need for it. I thought it couldn't play a role, but the size of the 11-inch and the compactness, the lightness, when I put this in my laptop sleeve, all of the room, putting this on my back, in my backpack, the lack of weight, like, I love it. It's absolutely powerful. This thing is beautiful. This thing runs extremely well. There's no hiccup. It has the 120 hertz refresh rate display. Everything's moving super fast with the A12. You know what I mean? What's this? The Bionic Z or ZX, whatever the heck. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, man? Everything about this thing is really, really good. The speakers sound great. Oh, another thing I forgot to talk about is media consumption. Watching videos on here or movies as you would normally on a computer or your iPhone is great on here. These speakers sound beautiful, and they're on both sides, baby, no mono. So audio experience on here is great. The video editing experience on here is great. The photography editing experience on here is great. Productivity, all in all on here is great. Just the overall user experience is absolutely great. That's why I could recommend this to you, hands down. And I'm gonna tell you, unlike the other people out there trying to say, don't get the 2020, get to 2018 and have you 2 years behind on updates and so forth, because there is a cutoff. All tech has a cutoff at some point. Apple can only support devices for so long. To a certain point, the hardware will become obsolete. Don't cheat yourself 2 years trying to save a couple bucks. Now, if you have to and your budget only fits to 2018, get it, because power-wise, there's no really big difference. There's nothing that justifies the 2020 upgrade from a 2018, but if you're absolutely new to buying an iPad Pro, get the 2020. I'm just gonna tell you that hands down. Now, whether you wanna choose the 11-inch or the 12.9 inch, that's totally up to you. It's personal preference. I got the 11-inch and I was nervous about missing out on the 12.9 inch, but so far the 11-inch has been perfectly fine for me. Yes, the 12.9 inch is bigger screen real estate, but it's also a bigger device, bigger weight. It's just something else bigger to carry. I like the size of this. I love the portability, and I think this is gonna be the iPad Pro I keep. Yeah, it's the one I'm keeping. I'm just joking. My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I know tech so you don't have to, baby. Smash that like button, smash that sub button, and watch another video. Watch another one of my videos, or go check out C-Kid Tech videos, or my bro Terry Warfare, or any other dope creator on the platform. Oh, who's calling me? Hello? Who this? Tim Apple. What up, player? I was just over here recording a video for the iPad Pro 2020. You know what I'm saying? You know I got it, man. You know it's fire. Yep. You know what I can't wait for? Yeah, that Magic Keyboard. I don't know why you made it so far away from the release of the iPad Pro 2020. Sounds like you bumped it up. You probably had the iPads ready to go, but not the Magic Keyboard. What's up with that, Tim Apple? Tell a player. Hey, speaking of the Magic Keyboard, yeah, man, you already know where I'm going with this. Yeah, I can afford it, yeah. Man, why you asking me that? I don't want to have to afford it. I want you to give it to me for free. Yeah, I said free. I ain't stutter. Come on, man. Why you always being stingy? It's all about, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to say I deserve a Magic Keyboard for the free, for the Lolo. No, what? Look, man, that's why you don't have a foldable phone over there, Apple, and guess what they do?
No. I won't stop. I won't stop. No. I won't stop.